All right, welcome back. In case you're just joining us, it's still Moneyline with Nancy, and my first guest is here is Tony Iloka, who is the chairman, WACMAC 2023 Organizing Committee, and WACMAC means West Africa Capital Markets Conference. Welcome to you, Mr. Iloka.
Thank you very much.
And good to see you.
Yeah.
Capital market, capital market, capital market. What is WACMAC about, and what will be expecting the conference? What is it about, 2023 WACMAC, West Africa Capital Market Conference? What is it about?
Thank you very much. The West African Capital Market Conference, WACMAC, it's a biennial conference that's normally conducted by WASRA. WASRA is the West African Securities Regulators Association. It's made up of the three regulators in Nigeria, in Ghana, and AMFAO. AMFAO, it's the securities regulator for the French-speaking West Africa. So this is the third biennial WACMAC that is being hosted by the SEC Nigeria, SEC Ghana, and AMFAO, like I said earlier, in collaboration with ECOWAS, with the West African Capital Integration Council, that is the WACMAC. Essentially, that represents the industries, and WAMI, which is West African Monetary Institute.
So what is this going to be concentrating on?
The third WACMAC is going to concentrate on the infrastructure deficit and sustainable financing through capital markets in an integrated West African region. So that is the title, that's the theme of this third biennial conference.
What are the challenges in getting infrastructure finance? Because a whole lot has been said about you can get long-term finance from banks, for example, but for capital markets, it seems to be more longer term. So how is this going to be addressing the challenges of infrastructure finance, especially around the West African zone?
You've said it all. Long-term financing, that's what the capital market provides. An infrastructural deficit is huge in the West African sub-region. And so this conference is all about bringing about an array of experts, policymakers, regulators, and industry chiefs to come together to have meaningful discussions and insights in preferring solutions in dealing with our huge infrastructure deficit, which has also affected our sustainable development goals as well. So if you look at the theme for this conference, it is infrastructure deficit and sustainable financing. They actually go together. This is huge in our region. And so the whole idea is for this conference to concentrate in preferring solutions and seeing how they can address the gaps in these areas.
Are the capital markets in these zones, are they well equipped to be able to handle the infrastructure deficit in West Africa? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Are they well equipped to address those infrastructural challenges and we're developing countries? So we have huge infrastructural deficit.
Agreed, but it's an ongoing process. I think the regulators, like Nigeria, is a huge, huge market. You know, perhaps the biggest in the sub-region. I believe we're equipped. We're not there yet, but we're definitely work in progress. And like I said, this conference would give an opportunity for us to come together and prefer solutions in dealing with this very huge problem in the sub-region.
So you're always holding this conference every 2 years?
Every 2 years, yes. The first one was in Abidjan, the second was in Accra, Ghana, and this third, it will be happening in Lagos.
In Lagos?
Yes.
That's where the market is.
That's where the market is.
And so far, your last two conferences, what has been achieved? And if you can recall what those two conferences were about, and perhaps what were achieved with those conferences, and perhaps what will be different in this conference?
In the last two conferences, we concentrated a lot on capacity building.
Capacity building of regulators?
Capacity building of regulators and the market as well.
Okay.
To see how we can increase the awareness of cross-border regulation. And if you ask me what has been achieved in these past 6 years since we've been having this conference. A lot has been achieved. We have been able to raise the awareness across the region. There's this eagerness by both the regulators and the industry to come together and tap into the huge potentials that is abound in this our sub-region. And also we as WASRA has been able to come up with enabling frameworks. We have a framework on fixed income. We also have cooperative agreements. All these are all in place. And we're also working earnestly to have our listing rules approved by WASRA that would enable transactions and trading across the region.
Now, it seems perhaps for those listening, they'll be like, okay, they are just going to be talking about West Africa.
Yeah.
Are other African countries open to participate? Let it not just be I guess 15 West African countries. I think are we up to 15? Yeah. You know,
The
just
ECOWAS
ECOWAS or sub-region.
Yeah.
Are other people expected to participate too?
I'll tell you, this conference is very significant. We're expecting over 300 stakeholders from the sub-region and also from other parts of the continent and beyond. So it's a widespread conference. So we're looking at a very interesting conference of over 300 stakeholders converging in Lagos. You know,
when is it? What's there?
It is coming up on the 25th to the 26th of October.
Okay.
That's
just
next
like a month away.
It's 29 days.
So you're already counting down.
We're already counting down. So I'm urging the stakeholders to go and register. It's WACMAC2023.com. Registration is open, and you better hurry because it's going to be very interesting. We're looking forward to it.
What areas of infrastructural deficit would this conference be addressing? Because when you come to infrastructural deficit, it's also huge.
Yes.
You have power, you have transport, you have, for those 2 days, are you also going to be attending to some areas, or are there specific things you need to look at? Perhaps, for example, in West Africa, we should have good transportation system. For example, I can take a train. I'm just saying, from like Lagos to Accra.
Yeah.
Things opening up such conversations. So what areas of infrastructures? Because since you're looking at this, I guess for those 2 days, there'll be thematic areas.
Yes.
You know, different panels or so.
Exactly. That's a very good question, and you've said it all. You know, because we are going to have 8 different panels on sub-themes that would concentrate on transportation, healthcare, education, and also sustainable development goals. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a mixture of infrastructure and sustainable financing. And all these critical areas will be well addressed by experts that have been well selected from across the continent and beyond.
Are you getting development banks across Africa to be part of it?
Yes.
Even development banks across ECOWAS. There's an ECOWAS bank, for example.
Yes.
Are those kind of people, those kind of institutions going to be part of it?
Definitely. Like I mentioned earlier, we're collaborating with ECOWAS on this conference. So ECOWAS is very much involved. It will be on ground. We also have, I don't start mentioning, but I know we have a lot of infrastructural experts that will be coming in. Yes, the FSD, ADB.
Okay, we'll be part of it.
We'll be part of it.
Okay, is there anything else you would like to say? Perhaps anything I've omitted before we end the program? You've given us the dates.
Yes.
Next month. Do you want to give us the venue? Do you want to repeat all that again?
Yes, thank you very much. We've said most of it, but I'm just urging the stakeholders that the conference is coming up on the 25th to 26th October at the Echo Hotel and Suites. It's happening in Lagos, and we're looking forward to it. And I urge you to go right now and do your registration on the website.
Must there be market operators to register?
Yes. Market operators.
So I say I'm not a market operator. I shouldn't be there. But if I'm interested in such things, can people also register?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, but of course media will be there because we're an important stakeholder.
Definitely, you're one of the most important stakeholders that we have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Mr.
much,
Iloka.
Nancy. Thanks for having me.
All right, I've been speaking with Tony Iloka, who is the chairman WACMAC. WACMAC is West Africa Capital Markets Conference 2023. He's the chairman of the organizing committee, so you've heard it from him. 25 to 26 October at the Eco Hotel and Suites in Lagos, where capital market regulators will be gathering across West Africa to talk about and find solutions to the infrastructural deficit in West Africa. All right, let's